Greetings everyone, this is Crow the Sandler fan here, and it's time for me to do another movie review. Today's movie review is going to be on the 1994 sequel to the 1988 film Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad and Naked Gun 2, The Smell of Fear. And this comedy would be the 1994 sequel called Naked Gun 3, The Final Insult. So the plot for Naked Gun 3 is about Frank Drebin, who played by Leslie Nielsen, of course, who is now a retired police detective, but he's also very stressed out because his wife, played by Priscilla Presley, is thinking about divorcing Frank. To save that marriage, Frank and his wife should make up, and so they would not get divorced, and of course they eventually have a baby at the end of the movie. But then I forget what O.J. Simpson's character's name is, and I forget what George Kennedy's character's name is, but they wanted Frank to come back in the police squad to stop a bad guy who's in prison, but he has to go undercover as a prisoner. So Frank disguises himself as a prisoner, and he meets this guy, which I forget his name, but he's the villain of the movie. He's played by this famous character actor named Fred Ward. So at first, Fred Ward's character admired Frank, and he kind of treated Frank like he was a brother he never had. But then of course, Fred Ward's character's plan was to bomb the Academy Awards, where he puts a bomb in a leather note during an award ceremony, and when he says the bomb, then the award ceremony gets blown up to pieces. But luckily Frank can save the day, and it's really up to him to prevent the bomb explosion from happening at the Academy Awards and to save his marriage, and that's what the plot is. So my opinion on the sequel, I really liked it. I thought it was a bit of an improvement to the second Naked Gun, although I still prefer the first one. But this sequel is I gotta say, even funnier than the first two. There were a lot of funny parts that made me and my dad laugh so hard. Even the scene that made me laugh the most was when Frank vomited at the trombone. That scene was really hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing at that part. Where he barfs at the trombone. That part was really hilarious. I was not expecting that scene at all. But yeah, it was really hilarious. And I thought Leslie Nielsen once again nailed it big time as Frank, like he did in the first two Naked Gun movies. He did a good job playing Frank in Naked Gun 3. And Priscilla Presley did a good job reprising her role. And so did George Kennedy. And yeah, I pretty much liked a lot of the characters in the film, except for the villain played by Fred Ward. Although I don't know much about Fred Ward, except the only thing I know about Fred Ward is that he played Joe Dirt's father in the movie Joe Dirt. And yes, if you see my review on Joe Dirt, you might remember that I did not really like Joe Dirt at all. But I didn't really like Fred Ward in this movie either. I think in my perspective, Joe Dirt and Naked Gun 3 are both tied as Fred Ward's worst performances he did. No offense to Fred Ward, but yeah, that's just my perspective. And of course we have some cameos, like Weird Al makes a cameo appearance, and so does Vanna White, from Wheel of Fortune. They make cameo appearances in the movie, and I thought their cameo appearances were really good. I can understand why my dad is not a fan of Weird Al, but I thought Weird Al was pretty funny in this one. In fact, Weird Al makes a cameo appearance in all 3 Naked Gun movies, which is really cool. And I like Weird Al's music, and it makes sense for Weird Al to make a cameo appearance in all 3 Naked Gun movies because we all know Weird Al is a comedy person. But yeah, there's one more thing I did like in this movie. The scene where the whole audience face palms, where they do this. That's actually an internet meme. The scene of everybody making face palms. That actually later became an internet meme, and people use that as a meme, You might know what I'm talking about if you watch those memes that feature the audience doing the face palm. Yeah. So therefore, I have nothing else to say about Naked Gun 3: The Final Insult. To those of you who've never seen that movie, I recommend it. It's honestly even funnier than the first 2 Naked Gun movies. But the first Naked Gun is really the best one. But Naked Gun 3 is still pretty good. So for my final rating of Naked Gun 3, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 stars. It's even funnier than the first 2, and a pretty good finish to the Naked Gun movies. Thank you for listening to my review on Naked Gun 3: The Final Insult. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is me saying peace out.